I'm Chuck Bolstead, and I'm here on behalf of the Board of Directors to make a few recognitions. I don't know if any of you have had to do that, but when you're recognizing people that have had an impact on the camp over 50 years, somebody's probably going to get forgotten. So first of all, I apologize for anybody I might forget, because this will probably happen. We've been blessed over the years with some outstanding directors, and as most of you know that have spent any time up at camp, it's not one person that does the director job, it's often the family that's impacted very much by the job. I know that there are a couple members of the Barrett family here. Jerry and Jim, could you guys stand up and be recognized? They grew up on the camp. That there's anyone from the Merrill family here. If there is, please let us know. Or the Doug Reed family. Harry Ozerik's family. Harry was planning on being here, but I have not seen him today. Harry, 30 years of this 50-year time span, Gordon and Patty Fisher served in this job. And I know that here. Thank you, Gordon and Patty. I appreciate so much all that you mean to this team. Scott Lou Stinson just left. I don't know if there's any of the family members here from Scott Lou's family. Is there anyone here? Really appreciated their ministry. We've also had a couple of interim directors which have played real pivotal roles. You've met Tom and Lois, and Homer Miles is here too. Homer, would you please stand up and be recognized? These directors would be the first ones to tell you that they depend very heavily on full-time staff people that are here. And I'm not even going to try and name everybody because I know I've messed it up here. But if you've served on full-time staff at Big Sandy Camp sometime in the last 50 years, would you please stand? Another group we'd like to recognize is former members of the Board of Directors of Big Sandy Camp. Could you guys please stand and women? And then often where the rubber meets the road is the summer staff, counselors, other people that come up to volunteer for short periods of time. Could you please stand and let us see who you are, please? How many people were here 50 years ago for the dedication of this camp? If you were, would you please stand? It's got to be somewhere around. When a camp survives and thrives for 50 years, it's not because of people that just plug in for 6 months or 9 months and it's just kind of passing fancy. There are people that have been here and worked often behind the scenes for many, many years. One person who has done that, we've had camp for 50 years, And we do have a member of the board of directors who served for 42 years. Now, I don't know if there's got to be something wrong with you to serve for that long. You know, you really need a life somewhere. But we just really wanted to especially recognize Jim Nelson. We've never had an emeritus board of director member before. I think if we're going to have another one, we're going to have to cut it down to less than 42 years of service to qualify. But Jim, we really appreciate all you've done for the camp over many, many years of faithfulness. And would you please come up and be recognized, please? Very simple little certificate, but it's meant with heartfelt appreciation. Presented to Jim Nelson, appreciation for 42 years of service at Big Sandy County Retreat Service as a board member, dated September 6, 2009. Thanks, Jim.
Jim and I are the ones who are reflecting back. We're the reminiscers. And I wonder why they chose us. This morning I was at Grand Rapids and they misspelled my name, Ray Benedict.
Well, I know why you're here, but I just don't know why I'm here.
Well, the rest of us know why you're here, Jim.
I'm not a platform guy. I'm a guy with hands-on. But I got some good friends out here that said that I could do it. So I guess we could do it.
Well, you know, it's people like you, over 99% of the Christian Missionary Alliance are people like you that aren't the platform guys. But we would not have what we have around the world without people like you. And the story is the same here at Big Sandy Camp. I do want to say on behalf of the broader alliance, that Big Sandy Camp was kind of a well-kept secret, but it's becoming more of an open story because of the ministry. Years ago, there was a decision by a district superintendent and a board. Actually, one of the board members is here that made that decision, George Strasser, to buy this land. There was decisions along the line, which I would like to refer to back to a verse of scripture, 1 Chronicles chapter 12, verse 32, where it said the men of Issachar understood the times and knew what Israel should do. And I believe that God has worked through the leadership, the camp, the directors here, that they did understand the times and they knew what to do. And so as we think of Big Sandy Camp and the broader ministry across the Alliance, it has kept up with its facilities, kept up with its programming, and debt-free. And so this is now becoming an example to the rest of our camps around the United States, which are doing a marvelous job. But they are experiencing some difficulties, the type of difficulties that we're not experiencing here. So from the national perspective, this is just a marvelous story of God's faithfulness working through people who make right decisions, so that I can go back and say, it's still happening here. But Jim, you served for 42 years. Jim and I had the privilege to have dinner together the other night.